Concrete pastures.
That's green, that's right.
Hello, family. Welcome back to Concrete Pastures. I'm Nancy Mlemwasisi. For anybody who's new, welcome to our platform where we highlight immigrants who have relocated to different countries in search of greener pasture. We share our stories of our various experiences and lessons we've learned along the way and offer a new perspective on our journey as an immigrant. So whether you are currently an immigrant, soon or later to be immigrant, or just curious, come along with us on this journey as we get a better understanding of what it really means to be an immigrant. For a lot of you, you've been joining us week over week, month over month. You haven't subscribed. Come on, support us by subscribing, liking, and sharing the content. This way we can get great, amazing guests like the one we have today. Rahil Marchena is a talented Venezuelan animator and a digital artist who has transformed her personal journey as a former refugee in Mexico into a powerful advocacy platform. Now based in Spain, she completed her studies in digital animation as a DAFI Scholar. Her commitment to social justice has led her to engage in various capacities, building initiatives including leadership courses with UNHCR and the RSC Pathways program at the University of Oxford. Rahil's work focuses on highlighting the challenges faced by refugees and advocating for their equal rights, particularly in education. Through her illustrative projects, she brings refugee stories to life, providing a safe outlet for refugees to share their experiences and express themselves. Welcome, my dear. How are you?
Hi, I'm really fine, and thank you again for inviting me. I'm so excited for this conversation.
Oh my God, we chose the coldest day here in New York. I know I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna be giving our viewers some summer vibes. You are in a blazer. I should have been wearing a blazer. Before we started, I was looking for my earrings. I finally found them. We usually start from home. You are from Venezuela originally. Do you mind just sharing your story as to what it was like growing up in Venezuela and what got you to live in Venezuela and ending up in Mexico?
Thank you so much again. And yeah, for sure. I think defining my life in Venezuela is like a really warm life, because even if I'm out of my country, I will never say that I hate or I don't like my country. I love my country, I love my culture, and I love where I am. So I love my roots, and I feel really represented from that. But the situation that has pushed me and my family to leave was something really hard, because it was a political situation. Venezuela is coming from a dictatorships. I'm not sure if this is okay to mention, but it's a dictatorship system, and that's also has caused the insecure for health for people living in Venezuela, and also insecure on the food insecure, basically people who are not having access to the basic to live. So this, together with the insecure on the streets and also on the economic situation of the country, have been something that really pushed us to leave the country. But in general, I could define my country like something really warm, something really rich in the culture, but that is coming to a really hard situation through this political system. So actually, what happened in my case was that me and my family were coming through an insecure in our house, and also in the environment where we were. So we decided that it was better to leave than stay in a place where our life was not safe. So this why we decided Mexico, because this was one of the countries where we have more family, and also things that were really related to us. So the decision was taken, and basically I was a bit destroyed, because I didn't want to leave family, friends, and my life in Venezuela. And it's a decision that you have to really be really strong and put your heart really strong, because it's quite hard. But since the day we took the decision as a family, I think we work together, but also work independently, internally, in how it is going to be, just thinking through how all the process is going to be, and thinking on how these steps going to improve my life, and thinking really with a cold mind, like, this is the best decision that you could take, because if not, your life will be on risk. So after leaving Venezuela, I live by plane. I know that this will sound like easier than the how the migration or refugee situation used to sound like. I know that some of my country partners, I would say, has been forced to leave by walking or maybe by a boat, because the situation has been like being harder and harder and harder. But I had the chance to live by plane. But even this was really heartbreaking, and things were quite hard to live. But what really supported me was having this preparation internally on how the process is going to be. And this has been the thing that supported me when it was my first day in Mexico. And I said, I have to improve my life, and I have to take as much stress as possible. I'm saying this because I used to be a really shy person. And I think this was a really learning process.
Yeah.
And this learning process like pushed me to do like start showing to the work, and start like thinking through and speaking about myself, about my story, and about the situation that my country is going through. So it was a learning process. Yeah, it was hard, but everything up. I won't say that I regret anything, because all of these things has shaped me, has shaped my personality, has shaped my resilience, and has led me to achieve what the things I have right now. But yeah, basically, I wanted to also say that refugees are resilient, and I have to recognize refugees and migrants are people that is really resilient, because you came through a lot of situation, but you are able to control, to build yourself after all of these things, and like go back to your normal form and even improve your life. But anything else I want to say that, yeah, when I arrived to Mexico, I request, well, we as a family request the refugee status because of the situation in the country. And I think we live in Mexico City for 4 months, and then we moved to Monterrey, that is another city in Mexico. And why? Because one of my dreams, and one of the things that also pushed me to achieve, or to push me to move forward, or to move from Venezuela, was that I really want to study, and the career of my dreams was digital animation. And this career was not accessible in my country. It was like really difficult to get it, or to even to think to start that career was a little bit impossible. So I said, this is my dream, and I want to follow my dream. So we moved to Mexico City, and then to Monterrey, because Monterrey was the university and the study where I want to be. So I think this was a really big summary, but I can provide more details.
Oh, very nice. No, beautiful, beautiful said. I mean, you've answered some of my questions while you were talking. Yeah, like what really inspired you to pursue the degree in digital animation? I know it was your dream, but what did you see in that space that activated that you should go for it?
I think what really inspired me were many things, I will say. Number one, my grandparent. I didn't have the chance to meet him, but I know that he was a really great artist. And I was feeling like I want to be the same that he. I want to transform his blood into me, and I want to continue with his journey as an artist. So what I said is like, let me take put in the same foot as my grandparents and continue being an artist. But yeah, you have to continue growing through the years. So I think that not being an artistic like in oleo or in paper, but a digital, that was my passion. So this is like my first inspiration to continue stuff from my grandparents on a different level. And I think the second one is that for me to choose a career as together with Venezuela's situation, but also with me, was quite hard. And my sister supported me a lot on that. I wanted to be an architect because I really like to draw and to build and to create things and see the results. But at the same time, I have to say that I'm really not quite good on putting putting things together. I'm a quite disaster person. So what I decided to do was like, maybe this is not for me because you have to take too much care when you're like putting all the buildings together. So I say maybe this is not me. And I just talking to my sister, she was like, you have to concentrate in yourself and what you want. You like to draw, you like the movement, you like everything. Think through that and look on the in the internet what is related to you. And that's opened my mind. And I just start seeing that I really enjoy to draw, but I really enjoy the way things works. For example, I pay attention too much when you see a tree and you see the leaf out moving, and I just start seeing the leaf and say, wow, how that kind of works. So animation, it's something that allows you to think through how these things are working and how I can replicate them. So I think was my second inspiration, that I really want to do something that it's able to show how the world works, but from your own perspective. So that's why animation was like the most centering me. I didn't know if I didn't have any idea how to call the career. I was sure that I want to make drawings that move. I was really sure that I want to make drawings that move. And I think the other thing that pushed me to be an animator was um, I like video games and movies and all these things, and it makes me really curious how these things works. So I think that was the third thing. One of my passion is related to the movies and all this world. So that's why I say, yeah, this is my passion, because it's art. It's like, yeah, artist. It's art. It's artistic. At the same time, you are learning from the world and you're able to express yourself, and also it's related to the world, the cinema and video games and all these things that came true. But something that I noticed when I started studying the career and when I started like building on my own illustration and animation is that all my drawings or all my products were really inspired through my journey on Venezuela and through my culture. So that's something that also makes me really proud, because in Mexico it's the same. It's not almost the same culture and it's the same language, but it's really different content. So anytime, for example, the teacher told us, you have to do this, this, and this. My colleagues have some things really similar, and mine was quite different because of the context I'm coming from. And I feel good that my journey, I'm able to to show my journey, or able to show how I see the world from my own perspective, from my context.
Yeah.
On this career, by basically, yeah.
Oh, no, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, you've been involved in various capacity of building initiatives, including those of for the UNHCR leadership courses. Can you discuss like how those experiences have impacted your advocacy for refugees?
I think my first opportunity to be involved into advocacy experience was the same day we as a family requested the refugee status. I think I would like to give all the context and how I started engaging into this, because yeah, I'm a person that is more focused on the arts, and I didn't have any idea they have and also I was really shy, but I didn't have any idea I was able to step on in front of a public and speaking about my experience and speaking up or advocating for other people that claim troops to the same. So this the first day I went to UNHCR and I went to the office where you have to request refugee status. I said, I really want to support all the people that is around me because you're in a room full of people, and I was feeling like I feel I can do something for anyone else that is here with me. So that was my first punch. Okay, I think I can support them. And I approached to them and it's like, I want to study and I want to also see the way I can support you as an organization. And at the first time, it was the first dates where they saw me and they were like, no, just stay calm, you're in the process, it's okay. But then coming into the other meetings and also um when the DAFI scholarship arrived to me, I was able to continue connecting with these people, and with this we start like building opportunities. It was not like directly advocacy opportunity, but it was opportunity to talk to people, was opportunity to talk with UNHCR staff. And when the pandemic arrived, it was like the day I said, I'm at home because we were not able to go outside. I'm at home. In which way I can use my time, because we were like participating in personal meetings, but online, how we can continue these sports. So in that time, I remember that we still continue like having these conversations online, like how we can use your experience as a student to support other young people that just arrived to the country so they can start studying high-level education or tertiary education. And continuing the conversation, I think I received one day the opportunity, or like the ads that TED Talks were being recorded in my city, Monterrey. So I said, let me just share with you, UNHCR. So we together were able to build a TED Talk to not just not talk about my journey, but also use my journey to inspire others and see how resilience can support you to think. And in this TED Talk, I mix my artistic and advocacy. This was my first time mixing these two. And in this TED Talk, I just describing all my my journey from Venezuela to arriving to Mexico and how this support me to getting my dreams of studying. And this TED Talk at the end, after I start talking like the journey about the Macau, because the name of the TED Talk is A Journey Narrated by Macaus. I end up and I say, actually, this is my story. I'm Rahildaris Marchena, I'm from Venezuela, and this is not just my story, it's the story from many young people all around the world, not just from Venezuela, that are going through the same situation. And we want to do this, and we want to practice this. So I'm just start building on the how a journey can change you and how you can like build that, how to use that into build yourself. And also, let's just giving an advocacy message to the governments that refugees exist, refugees need to be supported, and their dreams not to be forgotten. So this first advocacy item there, I'm really proud. Sometimes I don't like to watch that talk because I was really young. But at the same time, it makes me really proud because this has made a change. And I'm happy that this little advocacy effort has been able to get into other young refugees, and they are able to see, okay, I can do it too. And also to support other people that were shy and to build themselves and say, I can do it too. And this has changed me as the same way and give me also like more doors to open. And after this TED Talk arrived, we have this opportunity with UNHCR, Geneva or Copenhagen, I cannot remember well, but this was the first like capacity building activity So yeah, I'm coming from the context now, responding to the question. So I remember that this opportunity just popped up into my Gmail, and it says like UNHCR capacity building opportunity for leaders, and it was like, oh, I'm curious. I just want to know what a leaders mean. So I decided to apply, and I remember there were many questions, and in one question they were asking me like, do you have any advocacy efforts? And I was not sure what advocacy meant. But I say, let me just put the link to the TED Talk. And I'm super happy that this TED Talk allows me to be part of this course, this leadership course together with UNHCR. And I remember that when the course started, I just received a call from one UNHCR staff that I want to say I really love him so much because I've been a really good support to myself. And he just told me, so I just want to know, because your TED Talk is in Spanish, but I want to know what it is, what is the meaning and what you were talking there. And I just started talking to him, like translating what it is, and from this, and to building into, and to like being part of this workshop, I think I start defining what is a leader for me and how I can continue improving and working as a leader together with UNHCR and other agencies. So yeah, the impact that this workshop had in my life was huge. But I want to say that the first thing that impacted my life was the TED Talk, and myself to say, let me do this, even if I'm shy, even if I cry talking about my experience. Let me just do this, like have this first step that pushed me into the other opportunities. Because the UNHCR workshop on leadership was the one that pushed me to connect with these members from other organizations, and also to allow me to be part of the different initiatives. So this was my first step, but also the ones that really creates like an impact in my life with the TED Talk. This is something that also goes into my mind anytime that someone says, do you think should I apply to this opportunity, or do you think should I be part of this? Because in GRYN, the other organization I'm part of, that also came from that workshop, the Global Refugee Youth Network, just to not summarize. We are looking to support refugees to thrive and also to be part of opportunities like these workshops, capacity building opportunities, and also funding opportunities for the initiative. So sometimes they come to us and ask, so do you think I have everything to apply to this, or do you think I should risk to apply to this? And I always say to them, you are not risking anything. Like opportunity or thing that I did together with UNHCR, the TED Talk, is the one that I can mention. It's my first time, or my first advocacy effort, and the one that led me into the other opportunities. And this is something I always remember. For example, anytime together with the Global Refugee Youth Network, the other organization I'm working with, we are trying to support refugees to have opportunities and also to advocate for the community issues that they identify in the community. So sometimes they come to us and ask, or directly to me to ask, do you think I should apply to this? Do you think I should consider this opportunity? Or do you think I'm good for this opportunity? And I always tell to them, like, you're not risking anything, number one. And it's always good to take the risk. And if you feel that this opportunity is something that it's going to push you to the point you want to get, or to the dream that you want to achieve, just take it. And never think twice when you're trying to apply for an opportunity, because what is the thing that what is the worst thing that could happen? Not get it. Okay, but what is the best thing that could happen? You get the opportunity, and I know that this is gonna punch your life, and this is gonna like punch your journey as an advocate and as a leader. So this is like my biggest recommendation. Try to apply for every opportunity that you feel you fit in, and the opportunities. No one is perfect, and sometimes the requirements are really specific. But when you apply and you express yourself about like what you want to achieve, what is like your dreams, what are your objectives, I know that the people that is behind those opportunities will see you or will see a specific thing from yourself that maybe it's the one they are looking for, and they're gonna get it. And I know this is one thing that's going to change your life. So that's the biggest recommendation, or the first recommendation I give to all my refugee youth kids. I used to call them my kids because even if they're older than me, I feel really proud anytime they come to say, no, I get it. I don't get the opportunity, but I get this one. I'm feeling like a really more proud when I see them success. And that's like, I will define the most beautiful thing on my work. But coming back to the question, I think all these workshops, opportunities, or capacity building initiative I have on my life has impacted in a really great way. Number one, because they build me into different capacities in what is leadership, what is advocacy, and to put my feet into the floor, and also supports me to define what I really want to do and what are the things that I like from the work that they are doing, and how I want to focus my work. And also how to mix my work, because I'm on the arts part, and how I can support with the arts, the advocacy. It's something really that I'm still working on, and I'm trying to define, but I know this first base, it's always necessary, and also support me to connect with different refugee leaders, to network with UN organizations and other organizations that support refugee initiative and migrants initiative, and also to identify in myself what I want to focus or what I want to do in my life. So yeah, this has been a really impactful opportunities.
What is your approach in storytelling through your art?
So storytelling, when it's time to refugee studies, it's quite hard, because it's the same thing that I lived when I was like building on my TEDx, because it was about my journey. So it's really, really not hard, but it's super delicate to talk or to go to someone and a person say, "Oh, can you please tell me your story?" That's super bad. I don't like to do it, but sometimes when you are trying to advocate for something, like for example, refugee inclusion or migrants inclusion, or like trying to showcase a specific situation, you have to. But what I'm trying, and generally the refugees where we approach them and to ask about like their journeys, they're used to tell their stories. They're used to tell like their experience, etc. And they do it like normal with a lot of resilience and really strong. But sometimes you go to a little girl that it's his first time speaking about their journey, or even no one else has asked them about their journey. And it's really hard just to tell them, hey, why'd you leave your country? Or even for us also, sometimes it's really hard to say, why'd you leave your country? Because it brings a lot of memories. So the way I do it when it's time to ask, it's ask them, number one, to write it, because that's easier than speaking. That's it's connected to your feelings, but at the same time, it's not connected with your voice, and your voice comes directly to your ears, and that goes to your mind and brings your memory. So yeah, I have been reading a little bit of psychology and trying to understand how to do this in a less hard way. So number one, it's just to write them. I ask them to write them, and after that, I just go through and read it and ask to them questions like, "Oh, I saw that you mentioned that you were living together with your mom, and then it's this an example, and then you decide to live without your mom. So I just want to know a little bit thing. Who is your mom?" So I'm trying to not to go deeper. If I want to get like the full story, not to go deeper, but also giving to them. Sometimes I give to them, I also did this when I was in my country. Oh, I also lived this, and like trying to use my own experience so they can give me more information about them, so they can feel like more in the same, like we are on the same area, or we are like in a safe space.
Yeah, you created space for them.
Yeah, like having putting the space at the same level, like, oh, I went out through this, but how was your experience? Mine was this one. And they start like opening a little bit more.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to do, or with the blogs, that's why I call it with the blogs, so they can showcase their experience, is that number one, showcase resilience of refugees. And I know I have mentioned resilience too much because this is my favorite work. My favorite work because I feel it's representing all the studies I have been able to read, I have been able to be in front. And a part of showing resilience is to showing the reality of the different contexts and the way that you can't forget that this situation is happening. I know that the war is coming through a lot at the same time. We have war in Ukraine, we have war in Palestine, we have war in Venezuela, we have war in the border of Mexico. But if one is starting, we should not forget about the other ones.
Yeah.
And trying to show to people from the voices from the people that live that experience, what is the reality and how us should make awareness about the situation. Because the internet right now is something that makes me a little bit mad, but at the same time I can understand. The internet right now, it's connecting us, yes, but at the same time it's opens doors to xenophobia and another ways of racism, because people is able to see stories and with no heart to make jokes or to physical, not taking in consideration that people that is going through that situations also can have access to internet and see how you are making jokes about the situation of a country. That happens to me in Venezuela. And I remember anytime I'm seeing one of these things or like xenophobic memes, etc.
Yeah.
I used to be really mad and sad at the same time because I'm not able to defend my country, or I'm not able to defend myself. And this is something also have pushed me to say, let's build posts, or let's start building blogs that people can have access to show their experience and show how they use their experience to grow or to build themselves. And also, when you're able to show the reality of a country and show how people actually came, all the situations that people came through,
Yes.
even the maddest people in the world is able to create awareness, is able to understand the things and how everything is happening. So I think this is what I want my audience to get, like how what is happening in this part of the world, and also taking care of safeguarding the faces and safeguarding the name of the people. I used to do illustrations, illustrate them so they don't show their face, don't use the picture. Even if they want, I accept to put them, but if not, I just prefer to do an illustration just to not expose anyone.
Yeah.
And also, when people see illustrations, it's something that I still don't understand, but seeing illustration also, it's more touching than seeing pictures of people, because in somehow you feel represented by the illustration, or even you can feel represented by a cat going through a really hard situation than being a kid going through a hard situation. It's like, it's something really, really strange, something really weird, but at the same time, with the psychology, it's you have to play. And I know that people used to feel more represented or feel more touched by an illustrator of a cat going through the same situation as the other person. So what I'm trying is to create awareness and also make sure to show how these people have come through the situation and been able to grow, and also inspire others, because I know that other young people that have come through similar situations could just get stuck and say, no, I know now I became a refugee. Now I can do anything for my life. Now I will just get stuck here. But actually, no, you are able to grow after something hard happened. You're able to rebuild yourself. And this is something else also that we want to showcase.
Yeah, no, really, really amazing. The work of showcasing awareness. This is why also I'm going through this project of highlighting you guys' voices. This way people are aware where you're coming from. And I completely agree with you with how the internet is making fun of some of these countries without really understanding the content of what's going on in those countries and what's going on with the individuals that are going through hardships. So I really applaud you for the work that you are doing and advocating for your fellow refugees. And it's just being humanity. It's just being human and understanding one another. And I think it's the way you are illustrating it, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the softer side of things, because when people see animation, it becomes more softer for people and it's easier to digest the content. So I remember you mentioned also, how did you get to Spain? You joining me from Spain. How did you get to Spain from Mexico? What happened?
How I get to Spain? Okay, I think this was less hard. This was less hard because it was like it's the second time I'm doing a big migration. But at the same time, it was sad because I got my friends there and I got some family members there too. So it was kind of a normal and non-normal situation. But also Mexico is my second home. I have to say it. Mexico is it's a country that accepted me and the country where I was able to rebuild my life.
Yeah.
And also it was a country where I feel I was living, but at the same time, something that it needs to be really transparent that Mexico is going through a hard situation on feminicide, I think. It's gender-based violence, Mexico, and unfortunately, I have been into that situations. So I really think through, and I was really thinking that I was rebuilding my life, but at the same time, I was rebuilding my life in my home, like in my doors closed, because going outside anytime it was something happening related to GBV. So I said, I really want to continue my studies and I really want to continue my work, but it's quite hard doing through in this situation. So I moved to Spain with the aim to continue my master's degree and continue building into, because I studied digital animation, I want to build more into international relations. So I want to build my master's to that and also to continue like building that capacity and also supporting more into the refugee situation in the Europe context. So how I arrived to Spain, basically one, thinking through what I want in life and thinking through that what the risk that I was going through and how I want to focus my career. I think that was. And also here, I'm starting working with UNHCR to continue the awareness campaign, but more focused on refugee inclusion into education here. But that's how I arrived here. How I'm feeling here, it's a really warm place. It's a really like super. Everyone is happy all the time. That's surprised me a lot. Even if it's so very cold, people just start like clapping and yeah, it's really magical. I feel really really great here. I feel like home. I'm still missing Mexico, yeah, for sure. But the thing is that I'm feeling like I'm right where I needed to be.
Oh, lovely, lovely. In your opinion, what is the most pressing, what are some of the most pressing challenges that you think refugees are facing today?
I think if you ask me that, the first thing that came to my mind it's access to opportunities, but I want to develop more on that. So what I'm saying about asking opportunities is that there is many challenges all around the world, and depending on the context, we have visualized that refugees have different challenges, and but at the same time, there's one challenge that it's always there, and it's the access to education. Because in some countries, like Jordan, like Sudan, I think Kenya, a refugee youth basically doesn't have access to a tertiary education. So because of the documentation, because of the school where they are coming from, because of that, or even if the country don't allow refugees to study at the tertiary level. So what I always put into my speech is that education is a right, it's not a privilege, and it doesn't depend on your identity card, it doesn't depend where you are. It's something that every human being should have access to because it's the base of everything. And it's a base for opportunities, the base for self-reliance, the base for everything. And how you want or how we as a world want that the world continue developing and every country continue developing, if we are denying a big part of the population, because refugees are not like the 1% or 5%. Refugees are a big part of the population in most of the countries or most of the big countries in the world. How we want to support the development of that country? We are denying people to get work or to study. So access to education is the biggest challenge because there is still many barriers, there is still many bureaucracy systems that don't allow refugees to get access to continue their education, even primary education and lack of resources. But yeah, my big message is to, and I think this is something that I always repeat. My big message to the stakeholders or to governments is to don't deny the opportunity to something that is more like at the personal level for refugee youth. Don't deny or don't build barriers for young people that really wants to continue accessing to the opportunities. It's I would not say that it's fine when you see that refugee doesn't have access, for example, to this university or to this scholarship. That's easy to understand because of they want to protect the people from the country, and you are coming from another context, etc. That's easy to understand, but at the same time, why you will deny the total access to universities or the total access to schools? And so there is a xenophobia, and that makes things harder. But if you really includes rules or includes guidelines that don't allow refugees to get access to education or don't allow them to register in one educational system or an educational pathways, you are basically killing a generation, and you will continue having, I would not say the issue because not human represents an issue or not human is illegal, but you will continue having a person that won't have the complete tools to develop themselves or to develop in their own country. So I will say that education, access to education, to tertiary education especially, it's the biggest challenge for refugees.
Yeah, no, well said, well said. Education opens up a lot of doors. It gives you an opportunity to be somebody. And I agree with you that our government should give everybody an opportunity, truly. You are a Global Refugee Youth Network leader. What are some of the strategies that you are giving to the youth? Like what are the advice, what are the empowerment that you're giving to the refugees to support them?
So the Global Refugee Youth Network is basically an organization that it's coming from refugee youth experience. My colleagues from the GRYN, that's how we call it, were actually the youth advocates and the youth advisors from UNHCR group, and they identify a gap. They identify the gap that we are in. Yes, we're participating in the events. We're participating in. We have a seat on the table. That's super great. But at the same time, there is many things to do, and the real ones that have the opportunity, the real ones that have identified the challenges, and the real ones that have the power to do a change at the community level, at the local level, are the youths that are there, are the youth that are in the communities and really wants to do work in the community. So from this, they created GRYN, the Global Refugee Network. with the aim to support refugee people, to advocate to the challenge in the community level, and also to create initiative in the community to bring a new perspective to the community, and also to bring new solutions. So how GRYN works is that we provide capacity building so they can learn how to implement an initiative in the community, a project, and also support them with the funding that they need to establish this organization, to establish this opportunity. I think they first map how many refugee-led organizations, the Rahilos, were interested in having fund to implement projects to solve issues at the community level, and they were hundreds of refugee leaders that really wants to continue improving in the community, and they saw there, okay, here's the gap, and here's where we want to act. So this is like one of the programs that we have, basically, that is the GRYN Youth Action Fund. So I think we have already supported 120 refugee-led organizations all around the world, with more, well, and they managed to impact 25,000 young people all around the world. Refugee people all around the world. And this is where we think the real change is happening, because in the community they say we have seen the change. For example, in one project related to GBV, gender-based violence, they teach them how to report, how to prevent, and also how to take care of themselves. And another project, it was around access to education or opportunities online, and they built a place in the community, I think it was in Uganda, where they can have access to computers and apply to opportunities. And many youth have been able to get opportunities outside of the country, some in the US, some in the UK, and you see like the growing opportunity. You see like you're solving directly on the gaps, and that's amazing, and that's made me so proud. So this is how we support refugees. And also I think after the GRYN Youth Action Fund finished, this is not where the opportunities end, because we continue supporting them with the opportunity channel, where we continue like sending opportunities daily, so they can access to them, and we support them to apply, or in case they need recommendation letter or whatever, we will be there to support, because more than organization, we are trying to be really human, and we understand what these refugees have been coming through, because we as refugees, we understand it, and we are just trying to find a solution for them and for the communities, and to be in that like a organization that is more human, an organization that is more youth related, so they can have access to these opportunities that generally are in other organizations, for could be migrants, could be refugees, but there is many bureaucracy and barriers that sometimes don't allow to the majority to access to them. So we are trying to build into that different gaps to reach more refugees all around the world.
Amazing work. Very inspirational. Where is your work? Where can someone find your work? Some of the stories that you are highlighting.
Yeah, we have a website, and there's where you can also find the refugee stories and the refugee-led organizations, and also the refugees speak up opportunities, where we call it refugee-led conversations, where we have like discussions, and they are able to express the work that they are doing, and also to tell to the people like, we are working on this, or we are doing this, or this is my journey, and this is how this journey has built me to create this project. So the website is GRYN, www.gryn.com, I think, or .org. But
I'll have it in the like for anybody
huh?
who, I'll have it in the show notes. You can give it to me after. I'll put it in the show notes when once we post the episode, it will be there.
Yeah. I think it's also easy to find out by Global Refugee Youth Network in Google, and we have also the social media with opportunities, the LinkedIn, the Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Oh, very nice. Looking ahead, what are some of the goals for your advocacy work? and artistic projects that are coming for the next year, 2025?
Wow, I think looking ahead, I'm really excited for the upcoming year. And what I'm looking for is to, number one, to focus more on the European context and most in the part of the awareness, because I know that from Latin American context around refugee or around migration, it's really different from this one. Because here, there we are, the migrants around are just Latin Americans, and that makes things a little bit easier. But here we have a really mix of nationalities, and most of them are not from Europe, and that causes a little bit xenophobic. It's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit of xenophobia, but I don't say that this xenophobia it's not supported by a misinformation of what is happening in a different context, and also sometimes it's based on putting fingers into people or into nationalities because something happened. So what I want to do and what we are working together with UNHCR is to build more awareness campaigns and build more into leadership for refugees here, because refugees are migrants, because we also have migrants that are coming through the same one. And what we're trying to do is to allow them to speak about what are the biggest challenges that they have faced. That will be really different from Latin America or the Africa or the MENA context. But at the same time, are issues like xenophobia or the lack of opportunities that are not allowing them to thrive into here and to adapt here, and that's mostly it's caused by the awareness that it's not installed in the community. So what we're trying to do is to do that, and that will be my focus for the next year: more awareness, and also to more campaigns related to illustration, that things that we were discussing, that people used to get more comfortable looking into a cat or looking into a different theater character animated, to feel represented and also to understand the different situations. So what we are trying to do and what I'm trying to push myself also is to go more into animation, because I have been pretty outside of doing animation. It was more on illustration, but I want to focus more on animate and trying to get these stories, like to compilate from the different stories, output animation around what is happening into the different contexts and how we can support as a community in Europe all the process of the people that have been forced to flee their country. So yeah, I think my projects are around awareness in general in the European context to do a change.
Beautiful. I mean, your story is relatable to a lot of people in your community, and I love that you continue to showcase that through your storytelling, and also just so inspirational to everybody, because your situation didn't put you down. You were able to pick up yourself. I know we cannot highlight every little piece of your story in 1 hour, but at least from what you've shared, it's really inspirational to the rest of us, as you cannot stay down despite your situation. You've been able to transform your life. You are a digital animator. That is amazing. And you are advocating for others as well, and you want to see a change in the world and acceptance and just being human to each other. And for the rest of the people that do not understand, you are making us understand what the story should look, what the story is like. Because people, when they see something, they make up whatever is missing in the story. But at least you've made us understand.
Yeah, and I think to add into that, I'm really looking forward with my career, and also my passion, that could say it's an advocacy. I want to find one of my career, one of my passion. I'm really looking forward to find different ways. I know there will be many other different ways to mix them up, to find other ways to share message, or to like to little bit or to show a little bit to the people, like how is being a migrant, what is being a migrant means, and also to let them know that we have to understand that as human beings, this can happen to anyone. We are not all safe or not being a migrant or not to be a refugee. I think when I was 15 years old, because when I left Venezuela, I was like 17 or 18 years old. I did not even know what is being a refugee, or that the refugee word mean, or that xenophobia exists. I didn't have any idea of that.
Yeah.
But this can happen to you in just one day. Maybe one day just start a word and you are in the same country and you have to flee, you have to leave everything behind. And then in that time, you will understand that why it's important to treat people with kindness, number one.
Yes.
And being comprehensive, and to being able to support others to rebuild in their life, and also to pay attention to what everyone has to say, because I know that we are in different regions, we are in different countries, we are in different contexts, and maybe the situation that is going through Sudan, it's not the same that it will happen in the MENA region, but there will be different tools or different things that will be related, and that will support other part of the world to understand how you can react to that and how we can support people that is coming through that situation. So I think my main message is that things can change just in one day, and we just have to make sure to support each other as humans.
Yeah, no, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, I can talk to you forever, and that's a beautiful message to end on. Let's show each other grace. At the end of the day, things can change in an instant. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for making time, and thank you for all the work you are doing. Really, really inspiring.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.